Hello everybody and welcome to another review. Today we have G2 Universe Legacy jhiaxus. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Now, first impressions when you get him out of the box. He feels really solid like all the other Legacy figures. And not that loose actually. He's aged pretty well for a figure released in 2021 or 2022, whenever it did release. I don't really remember. But yeah, it's aged really well. And it's got that feel of like a modernized G1 figure, but it's actually a G2 figure. Oh, and fun fact about jhiaxus, he was actually kinda the Thanos version of like the Transformers universe. So that means he was really strong, and in the comics he actually ripped up off Optimus Prime's faceplate, which means that this guy is very strong. Now for the articulation, we'll start off from the top and work our way to the bottom. The head is on a ball joint. I don't know what's with my camera right now, but the head is on a nice ball joint. It can spin, it can look up, it can look down, and it can tilt. So yeah, we'll put the lighting back. So that's the head. Well, why is it focusing on my hand? Okay, my camera's got some issues. Now it's focused on the figure, so just ignore it. And the arms can go out that far, they can go down, they can go around. Sadly, it can't go 360 because of the backpack. But I think you can untab it and get 360 like that. There's a bicep rotation, and the elbows can bend over 90 degrees and they're not even double jointed. So that's good, Hasbro. Wrist rotation and finger articulation, which is really nice for this Voyager. I think it's a Voyager, not a leader. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a Voyager, which we will see in the later size comparisons. So on the legs, he has a waist-like swivel. Damn, he can kick out 4 because they're on like this weird hinge thingy. That's also one of 2 Optimus had, but it limits the back kick and it can kick out to the side that far. So I think he's good at kicking, guys. There's a thigh rotation, over 90-degree bend at the knees, still not double jointed. There's ankle pivot and back. You can move it back a bit, but sadly not forward. So articulation on Voyager class jhiaxus is amazing, and considering it's got the Voyager class price point, you're definitely getting your money's worth for this one. So yeah, so far it's looking like a W, like that. Now for the accessories, he is packing a small like SMG. I think it's an SMG or like small Uzi. So he can just hold it in his hand like that, and he's ready to fend off some Autobots. And that was the smaller accessory. He also comes with this pretty big gun actually. When you plug it into his hand, it looks very nice, and he does look like a Cybertronian warlord. And ignore anything that my camera's bugging. I have a bit of issues with it right now, but just ignore that. So yeah, the accessories are actually pretty good, and the articulation was pretty good. So yeah, And a secret feature. It's not featured in the instructions or anything. It's like, you may notice that there's like a hole here. Yeah, you can peg stuff into it. Really just fell off my desk. So you can unpeg here. Did I snap something? I just decapitated him. Okay. That's not good. Wait. Alright, we're back. So you just unpeg this. This is a bit more for the transformation. But you see his like shoulder missiles. You can get your fingernail on it and you can take it loose. So then you can just fold the head down. Oh no, don't do that. You fold this. And for the transformation, you're supposed to fold in it. And it can only go about like here. But now it can go all the way there. Like that. So now he doesn't have the shoulder sight or missile. And you can plug it in to make the gun like bigger. So if you like him without that, you can do it. And it's not featured on the instructions. I just think they meant to like put it there, but they just never ended up doing it. But it left there on the engineering. And size comparisons. Here is him next to core class Wheelie. So you can see him next to a core class. He's a Voyager. And deluxe class 3-pack impactor. A deluxe class. I mean, it's pretty fairly sized. And leader class Kingdom. What's his called? Ultra Magnus. So he's actually pretty well sized for a leader class. You can see he's bigger than the core. He's meant to be bigger than a deluxe. And the leader is bigger than him. So for size wise, I feel like he's a pretty good sized Voyager. And for the transformation, I'm not gonna walk you through it, but kabam! Now here is the vehicle mode for jhiaxus. I think that's how you say it. And the transformation to get here was really satisfying. And the result is, well, it's something. The result is something. Now, I do think that the mold for, I don't know what this was called, it was like a prime or something, did the vehicle mode way better, and this did it worse. So, touching up on the vehicle mode, you feel it's very solid. There's pretty much no hollow spaces. Proceeds to show here, yeah, there it's hollow. And the arms kind of just get slapped on the underside. They just fold in and get slapped on the underside. Which is, it's something. Maybe you can like have it look like it's flying. But then you gotta count that it becomes this thin. Yeah, maybe you can actually use it to make it like hover a bit. You know? And again, I don't know how accurate this is. I'll just put up the picture of it right there if he even transformed in the comics. So yeah. And if you want to store his weapons, you can just plug them into any of the 5mm ports, just like that. And you can take his SMG and plug it into any of the ports. There's so many of them. But I like to plug it in right there. And I just noticed, this is made out of clear plastic and my kind of peg here is snapped. I don't know when it snapped or how it snapped. I think it just came snapped out of the box. But as you see, it still connects and it's not that loose. So yeah, it's actually made to have kind of these weapons out. And yeah, so For size comparisons, here we have Deluxe Class Impactor and Core Class Wheelie, and finally the boss of bosses, if it can fit, we have Leader Class Ultra Magnus. I have to readjust that so just Ultra Magnus fits. So you can see it's pretty decently sized. I think it scales pretty well, considering that this is pretty much hollow. So yeah, it's just hollow, so that's why it takes up so much space. Then this is well sized. The core is a core class, and the deluxe and the Voyager are the main size comparisons here. You can see they're sized well, considering this compacts more than this. It's a bit bigger, but it is what it is. So yeah, now I gotta put my camera down. These are the dough. So now that we've taken a look at the figure, we're gonna do the pose test. Now, in some areas, he's not the best to handle, so, that takes a bit of the playability. Yeah, you probably saw I accidentally broke his head off, so yeah. Now, the rest of the modes, or like robot mode, or the vehicle mode, or stuff like that, they are pretty good actually. The robot mode is pretty much perfect. There's no back kibble. It's supposed to be these wings on the back, so yeah, it's pretty much amazing robot mode. And the vehicle mode is questionable, but it is still good. And the articulation and details are very good. So yeah. Final thoughts. 1 out of 10 is definitely a 9. 9 out of 10. I would definitely recommend you pick this guy up before he stops going on sale, and just, yeah, you can't buy him anymore. So yeah, definitely a very good figure and a solid addition to the Legacy trilogy. And W or L, you already know it. It's a W. So yeah, I would recommend picking up this figure. That's my thought on Legacy jhiaxus. Bye bye!